Vapor City, and I'm not just talking about a place full of vapor. I am talking about Vapor City. Come on now, you guys have tried this stuff before. Vapor City sauce? Really, you haven't? Okay, what about Dawnkraft? You ever tried Dawnkraft? The yellow? And if you haven't tried the yellow, you've tried the pink. You telling me you haven't tried this stuff before? Okay. I'm going to cut you a break here just because it's Joe of all vapes. And you're in my corner now, you know what I'm saying? So all rules, you're just going to throw those out, at least for this review. So pay attention because this is going to be some in-depth, awesome stuff. Now, touching base briefly on the Dawnkraft. Dawny D is my girl, man. She came out with this stuff. Really, really super tasty. The pink is kind of like your traditional pink Starburst flavor. Tasty, awesome goodness. And the yellow, gummy bear, pineapple white gummy bear, so sweet, so tantalizing, perfect little palate cleanser. But Vapor City sauce, that is her baby right there. And the reason I dig on this sister of mine is because she is from the PNW. Somewhere briefly in her life, she graced the Pacific Northwest with her presence and brought out something really, really unique, came out with a couple of badass lines. But today, we're going to be talking about the Vapor City sauce. Now, I've been sitting on this stuff, letting it stay happy, letting it stay smooth, but ultimately had some incredibly good fun with these flavors. And I'm going to show you all of them tonight. I'm going to bust out the flavor card. We're going to touch base on those real briefly. Keep this as pithy as possible, and then we're going to talk about it towards the end where you can get some of this stuff, and top notch, let me tell you. So first of all, each one of the labels on these little 15 milliliter bad boys are pretty much the same. Now you got your traditional legalese on the side, then of course you've got the flavors and the 3 milligram, 0, 3, or 6. I'm the 3, as you guys know. But you know, they all kind of differ in color from each one to each one. You know, just kind of giving you a little bit of a difference as far as the flavors are concerned so you don't get confused. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different flavors that they got going on, and we're just going to go through them real quick here and give you a little bit of a taste as what you can expect from the Vapor City sauce lineup. So first of all, we have Bandwagon. Yogurt is the new custard, as they say. Jump on the bandwagon with creamy spoonfuls of yogurt and decadent strawberries, which leave you wanting more. Now, I'm going to kind of go down them just because there's so many of these flavors. Typically, I don't deal with, you know, more than about 5 flavors at once, and I'm just going to review each flavor as we go down. So the Bandwagon was really, really tasty for me. And when they say yogurt is basically the new custard, kind of is. There's been a surge of yogurt-inspired flavors, especially some of the Greek yogurt-inspired e-juices. Just kind of a rich, deep, creamy earthiness to it. Not like your traditional kind of runny Yoplait kind of a flavored yogurt. But something that really sticks to your taste buds and keeps everything melded into one place. Now you throw in some really high quality strawberry extract on top of that. You've got something that is both light and earthy at the same time. Very, very rich, and it's kind of a binary. So, you know, I'm getting a little bit of the custard on the inhale with just a little bit of strawberry, you know, just kind of on the back end, and then on the exhale, total strawberry, but the custard keeps everything nice and happy and all together. So that is the Bandwagon in a nutshell. Now the Conspiracy is the second flavor in the lineup here, and this is basically a tropical flavored fruit medley with a blood orange kick to it. Now, for those of you that have never tried blood orange, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like a traditional orange flavor, but deeper and more rich and exotic flavored. So look up exotic in your Webster dictionary to kind of see what I'm talking about. Think outside the box, and definitely do not expect to taste something completely traditional. But it does have a traditional fruit medley flavor with it, so you're getting something exotic and rich, while something just a little bit more comfortable and familiar all at once. So the Conspiracy, really, really tasty for me. Very decent palate cleanser. I like things that are not traditional. This was a very good non-traditional vape. Plus, I'm kind of one of those freaks that actually like blood orange vapes. A lot of you guys out there don't like it. It can be something just a little bit too outside the box for y'all. But, you know, they really had it going on with this flavor. It was a good mixology, so I'll give them an A+ on that one. The third flavor is Fear Mongering. And this one is your traditional fruity cereal vape. Now, There's a lot of cereal vapes out on the market, and there's only so many ways that you can mix up a traditional flavor that has flooded the market in a way that's just going to make it matter. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to that, I'm kind of a firm believer in subtleties. Now, you can go totally outside the market and come up with something completely different. I don't know how many cereals that you can come up with that's not been sold in the past 100 years, you know what I mean? But the subtleties, once again, is really what makes the difference. So this one was sweet, was fruity, a little bit of citrus, which is good because I don't like the cereal flavors with so much citrus. But the creaminess on this was really good. It wasn't very decadent as much as it was just light and creamy, kind of like a really, like, you know, maybe like a whole milk flavor would be the best way to describe it. So still light, cold, creamy milk flavor to it, while still being just rich enough to kind of barely touch base with a little bit of that dessert vapor quality. As you know, there's a fine line between the difference of a breakfast vape and a dessert vape. And a lot of it has to do with the quality of the fruit extracts, as well as like whether it's a vanilla or a cream, maybe a honey going on in there, something like that, some kind of a sugar glaze, a frosting. There's a fine line. You're riding it. But this one was a really, really good one. You know, I'd say probably overall it was just a little bit too citrusy, a little bit too kind of playful for me. But you know what? I can respect high quality vapes. If you dig on a cereal vape, you're gonna dig this one, especially with you know, a name like Vapor City. They're not synonymous with being overly novelty, which I really dug. They keep everything really tight and professional, and the flavor quality speaks for itself. So give it a shot. The Rebel is the fourth flavor on this one. And the Rebel is a creamy custard with a sweet sugar cookie finish to it. So once again, we're talking about kind of that really rich flavored, kind of like the Greek yogurt, kind of a taste to it, something rich, something bold, but sweet and savory all at the same time. Now you throw in on top of that a really warm, fresh baked sugar cookie, crumbly on the outside, but really warm and soft on the and chewy on the inside. It's really, really tasty mixture. I mean, I can't really think of anything better than to dip a sweet, freshly baked right out of the oven sugar cookie into some nice, thick, rich, dense, creamy vanilla custard. Awesome flavor between the two. You know, and a good sugar cookie can sometimes be kind of dense and rich in the flavor as it is, especially when you have that buttery undertone, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of the glue that keeps everything together and happy. And I love a good custard vape. There's a lot of companies out there that screw up something as simple as a good custard. I don't know how they do it. Maybe it's the culinary snob in me that wants to come forward with being that anal over flavor profile quality. But you know what? I have a discerning palate. And I like things that when they're touted on a profile card, I can actually taste the individual flavors of them. This was a great binary flavor, but it was still a good enough mixology. The blend was pretty perfect and locked in the two together. So not one is overpowering over the other, which was really, really pleasant for me. Light enough to consider it a palate cleanser, but rich and deep enough to consider it a great all-day vape, as well as a really good dessert vape. So I think some of you breakfast lovers are going to love this one too. So the Red Herring is the fifth flavor out of the setup here. It is completely fruity is what it says. Everybody tastes something different, but don't worry, this isn't meant for distraction, just satisfaction. Reminiscent of your favorite purple bag of rainbow candy. So can't go much further than that. The Red Herring was a pretty even blend of everything. Almost tasted like just a big fruit salad. You threw everything in a blender, whipped it up, and got an even flavor mix of all of that. It's hard for me to label this, whether or not it's a tertiary, a binary flavor, or just everything all at once. But the one thing I can say, I definitely did taste individual flavors. Some apple, some orange, some grape, some cherry, maybe even a little smidge of pineapple, unless my taste buds were totally dead. That's kind of a hard flavor not to pick up, you know what I mean? You know, it was really good. It was something not necessarily too different, but, you know, you've got a lot of different qualities and flavors out on the market. You got a lot of different extracts and you know, flavors that you can throw into the mix. So coming up with something different and unique can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. So like I said, once again, you really have to work on the subtleties. This one was not overpowering. It was very flavorful, and it was nice to have something that separates itself from the rest of the bunch. You can have 50 different apple flavors, but if the subtleties are there, they have to be high quality, or else nobody's going to want to buy individual of the same type of base flavor. You know what I'm saying? This one was pretty good. Not necessarily totally outside the box, fairly traditional, but it was still pretty good. The Rumors is the 6th flavor on the setup here, and this one is a mouth-watering sweet grape mix. Now, I'm not even going to go further than that. We're talking about, grape Kool-Aid, right? Grape Jolly Rancher, the grape Skittle that I always separate out of every bag. This is one of those traditional childlike flavors that really sets you back and just makes you very reminiscent of wanting to go out and buy a bag of Skittles. Really, really good flavor to it. The quality was kind of in between, you know, whether or not I was thinking it was a traditional grape flavor or something a little bit more of a candy-inspired taste to it. You know, it was kind of right in the line, which, to be honest with you, was a compliment, because if you can't tell the difference between one or the other, it's kind of leaving subtleties to the end, once again, which I think Vapor City Sauce has done very good with, really defining the subtleties from some of the other stronger flavored ones, like the Bandwagon, which is, you know, that got that really rich, deep yogurt taste to it. You know, it's so traditional, and it's so light and fun. It's like sucking on a grape Jolly Rancher the whole time, and the flavor never dies. And the great thing is, it's not going to leave you with a bad aftertaste in your mouth. So that one was a really taste one. But the Robber Baron was probably my absolute favorite. That's the 7th and final flavor out of these. This may be the richest of our flavors. It says a sweet caramel and vanilla balanced with a savory Asian tobacco undertone. I love a good tobacco vape, but the tobacco vape has to be high quality, or else I'm definitely going to know the difference. But you throw in a rich caramel on top of that, and I'm talking about a good quality caramel. You're busting out the high dollar copper pot, and you're stirring it up with that old school spoon that you got from your grandmother when you were a kid. You throw in some really high quality vanilla in there. Now you've got a great tertiary vape. So the first thing that hits my mouth is that really sweet caramel taste. On top of that, you've got in the middle of the mixture a very, very decent tobacco flavor to it. Not too bold, but bold enough to be kind of nice and earthy, keeps everything together. It's the glue that stuck the rest of the two together. And the vanilla was fairly true to the profile, which, once again, music to my ears. True to profile anything means that they've put time, energy, and passion into the final product that they're trying to come out with. So this one probably took them a little bit of time to come up and balance between the three. The inhale, like I said, is that caramel with a little bit of the vanilla, and on the exhale, you got a really sharp, good, solid, earthy taste of that tobacco with a little bit more of the vanilla and the caramel coming up on the back end. So it was a really good setup of flavors. And I think we did a pretty good job of keeping everything pithy within about 15 minutes here. Let's see if I can close this out on time. So once again, 15 milliliter bottles is what they sent me, and there's not a whole lot of difference between each bottle to each bottle. The label logo pretty much speaks for yourself, and you can see it on the card here. You can see it on my shirt. I'm going to have to bust out the camera at a different angle next time. But like it says, fight the resistance and fog them out. And with 7 awesome flavors here to choose from, I mean, you ain't going to be at a loss for having something new to try on your next vape. And I can guarantee there's at least 2 all-day vapes out of all 7 of these. So I want to say to Vapor City Sauce, thank you very much for sticking it through and have the patience with Joe of All Vapes to let me try these amazing flavors and share them with the rest of my vaping community, the rest of my fans, my subscribers, and my followers here on YouTube and Instagram. If you guys like this review and you like Vapor City Sauce, here's a couple things that I want you to do. First of all, go on to Instagram. Check out Vapor City Sauce. Give them a follow. Give them a like. Tell them that Joe of All Vapes sent you, and definitely check out their pictures. Follow the link on their page, on their Instagram page. Go and check this stuff out, and of course, that's where you'll be able to buy these in any size that you want. You know, anywhere from 0 to 6 milligrams of nic, like I said. And on top of that, pick yourself up some Dawnkraft too. Now, the Dawnkraft only comes in 60 milliliters, but trust me, you're going to vape through it. And the real reason that this isn't totally empty is because I've got more e-juice than I know what to do with. That's why I'm doing fat giveaways, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of fat giveaways, I've hit the 10,000 follower mark on Instagram, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you guys so much for that kind of support. If you dig the stuff that I do, spread the word, because that's how I do what I do, and that's how you get these awesome giveaways going here on YouTube and JoelVapes_2 on Instagram. Got some awesome stuff going on for the month of May 2016, which is this month. I want you guys to keep advocacy alive. We got a real big blow that we suffered recently from the feds. I know I'm still smelling the aftermath, the burning wreckage from that, but the fight is not over. These guys aren't going to be done until they got their grubby mitts and everything that we're doing. So sign those petitions. Go in the bottom of this description on this video on YouTube and follow it and join CASA. That is the advocacy group that makes sure that we continue to keep doing what we love to do. How'd you like to go into a vape shop and not be able to vape? How'd you like to go into a bar and not be able to drink? Makes about as much sense, right? That's what they're trying to do this, and it's nationwide. So you got to make sure, get off your butts and make sure you guys do your part. Sign those petitions, okay? One last thing I want to leave you guys with is thank you all for watching. Your support is what keeps me doing what I enjoy doing, and I couldn't be happier, and I couldn't be more proud and humble to be doing it with you guys. So love yourselves, love each other, and you keep it cloudy.